George likes his chicken spicy.
Spice up your life!
Spicy, no?
And this is the new spicy.
G'day, welcome back to Spice, and I'm joined today by Robin Yang. Thanks for joining us.
Brayden, it's great to be here, and g'day to all the viewers.
Robin, today we're talking about the Uniting Church, but particularly the way we're structured. Now, we've got 4 councils. Do you want to tell us a little bit about them?
Sure. So, for those of you who may not be too familiar with the councils of the church, there are indeed 4 that I want to quickly talk about. First one is congregations. Congregations are perhaps the communities of faith that hopefully all of you will belong to. If not, the congregations are the place where a lot of our worship, where the life and witness of the church primarily takes place.
Yep.
We have presbyteries. Presbyteries are our, if you will, regional councils, and they generally gather pretty regularly. They have oversight over a number of different areas and responsibilities, including looking after ministers and making sure that the congregations are healthy and doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Then we've got the synods, which are the state councils, and they have a larger overview over the functioning of all of the mission and the ministries that happen within each state in Australia. And then we've got the assembly, which is the national body, and they vary in functions, everything from setting standards and setting procedures and governance all the way through to national mission, nationally and also internationally.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, where would we bump into them? Where are we ever going to experience presbyteries or synods or assemblies? I mean, the church kind of makes sense, that's where we are, but why would we bump into these other parts of the church?
Well, as you will discover in Spice, the Uniting Church is a very interconciliatory and interconnected and related. And so the way that the UCA is all set up is that we don't function individually and in silos, but that we all kind of work together. So for many of you who may be doing work with young people, you'll be seeing the presbyteries perhaps more within your local area, perhaps being connected with, with what other people who are doing similar ministries to you will be doing. There's also the state synod ones, and there's often opportunity and learning from what are others doing across the state in children's ministry, youth ministry, young adult ministries, in kind of worship, in kind of whatever. And then there's also the national, where you get a much broader perspective, and that broader perspective can kind of really inform the way we do our work in profound ways. And that encounter can happen through gatherings like meetings, and or they can happen informally through the internet, through Facebook, through other forms of social media, through publications and all of that.
Yeah, okay. Now you mentioned one thing there, that we're talking about councils, but we also use those words when we look at meetings. So we have a synod and we have synod meetings. We have presbyteries and we have presbytery meetings. How do we participate in those things? If we're watching this, we want to get involved, or we've been asked to get involved, what does that look like?
Yeah. Well, look, for those who are a little unfamiliar, they can seem like really foreign kind of bodies, and who are they, and that kind of thing. So let's start locally. I think it's a wonderful thing if young people are involved in the church council within their congregation.
Yeah.
I think that's where the decisions around how programs are going to be run in your local church and congregation, and in the way that you do mission with the community. So, and every church will be a little bit different. But when it comes to the presbyteries, being involved is rocking up to their meetings. There will be key people who will be in leadership in those, and the way that those councils are structured, presbyteries are structured, is that they've actually often have councils, have committees, gatherings that focus particularly on some of the areas that you may be interested in, whether that be on mission, justice, youth, children, young adults, and so kind of connected with them and having a voice to be able to speak into how the presbyteries can kind of help shape and mold and equip and support young people in your community is a really good way.
Yeah, sure.
The synods is an excellent one because that's a state gathering, and being involved with them primarily is through meeting people like us.
Yeah.
But some of the ways that we want to kind of encourage people to engage is through social media, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Braden's podcast, or whether that be through resources and hearing some of that, getting feedback through different channels.
Robin, thanks so much. In your experience, is it something that you would encourage young people to get involved with, these different councils of the church?
Look, I think there is a deep learning and a deep insight that happens when you actually understand how other councils of the church work. I think what that does is it enhances not only your understanding of how ministry happens, but how you can get your voice heard and how you can make a difference. And I think that's one of the biggest things that, certainly for myself, but I know that we both dream, is to encourage all of you to be able to let your voice be heard within the UCA. What I've shared, I hope has been helpful, but I know all the stuff that I've said online is all available online through either the websites or through your synodal presbytery.
And we're going to drop some of them down here in the description. The last thing I'd say is that, I don't know if it's your experience, but I've met lifelong friends actually as I participate in these things, which, it's not why we go necessarily, but to meet young people like myself who care about this church and involved, and then you reconnect and you share ministry together, and it's actually really exciting.
I would probably say that some of the most inspirational people that I've met have been through these councils, who have challenged my faith, who have deepened my understanding of Christ and my love for Christ, and it's been discipleship building.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks for joining us here on Spice.
See you later. Thanks for watching, and check out the next videos to come.